Okay, so we're all charged up, and still got a draw. Right now we're showing about 450 milliamps, so the issue's still there. I'm not buying a battery until I get this thing all done, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the battery all up, and that way I can get a better connection with my meter, so I can get a better idea of exactly what we're looking at. What we need to do is find where this current draw is coming from. Right here, I'm just speeding through cleaning up the battery terminals. It's pretty boring stuff. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're going to see how much juice I got in the battery to see how well I can do this test, or if we're going to need some additional help. We're only at 11.71, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and hook the charger up. That way I have a steady amount of current pushing through it while I test this thing. A little low. Making sure to plug it in this time. So right there, I'm just making sure that we still have the, the same amount of current draw. Nothing crazy happened by hooking the charger up and waking something up or doing anything crazy, but we're still good. It's still showing the same current draw. So as you can see, the fuse panel's in this on the side of the dash here, and the problem is I have to test this thing with the door open. Now, we already know with the door open it's pulling an amp and a half, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and disable that to take that out of the equation. So I'm going to go ahead and tape the switch off, but we'll see how that works. And that turned out to be a total fail. I was unable to get the tape to stick on there and keep that thing shut, so that didn't work out at all. Needed another plan. So I just decided we're going to not mess with that and just take it out of the equation altogether. I just pulled the switch. I'm going to disconnect it, and that way it'll be no more issue. Alright. Alright, so here I'm going to start pulling fuses one by one until we see when we lose all the, we no longer have this parasitic draw. On a newer type of vehicle with all these modules, this would be done a different way. Maybe I'll make a video at a later date and show how to measure the voltage drop across the fuse for a newer type vehicle so you're not messing with modules. But on a car this old, I just decided to pull the fuses. It's easier and it's quicker. This would have been nice to have a second set of eyes so that I wouldn't have to keep walking back and forth. I could have probably hooked up a test light, but I was already here. And there's the culprit. So we know that the draw is coming out of fuse number 8. Now I happen to know fuse number 8 goes to the door locks, and I hadn't realized that the door locks weren't working. I never used my door locks. So with fuse number 8 out, we went from like 450 milliamps down to about 20. So what I like to do in this situation is that there could still be other issues. I want to isolate that individual circuit on number 8 and measure the current draw directly there, not with an ammeter, but I mean not with a clamp style ammeter, but an actual meter to get an actual reading. As you can see, we're pulling about 310 milliamps directly at that fuse. If you listen close, you can hear every time I hook that fuse back up through the meter and give that circuit power, you can hear the door locks trying to click. Now that we verified it, the next thing to do is go to the wiring diagram and try to figure out what's in that circuit so we can see what we need to do. Okay, so now we know that we have a problem in fuse number 8. So now that we're on the chart, here is our fuse number 8. That is our red white that comes over to all these items here. That would be the power mirror switch, the HEVAC control module, the door locks, the convenience center, the radio, the vehicle information center, the keyless entry module, and the overhead console. Now I suspect maybe there's a problem here in the keyless entry module, so I'm going to go after that one first. So the keyless entry module is up in the overhead console. I need to get this thing apart to get to it. The hope here is that I'm going to disconnect this, and that's going to be the end of our draw. By hearing those door locks popping, I'm thinking maybe that thing's shorted internally.